Right across from Griffith Park, police out there finding the man unresponsive in his tent. Now, according to a homeless advocate who's out here almost every day, the man went by the name Venezuela. He was in his 30s. She believes his death was likely a drug overdose. As we highlighted Monday, there's needles and drug paraphernalia all over out here, along with dozens of people living in tents and in storm drains. We brought this issue to Councilwoman and mayoral candidate Nithya Raman's office Monday. They said it's hard to clean up because of steep slopes and culverts, and now this happens just 3 days later.
I feel sick to my stomach. I feel angry. I feel like what we're being told is complete lies, and has been, and I've known about it for 3.5 years. But the platitudes that they issue, the political correct statements, whatever they say on air, back to the press, is untrue. They're gaslighting the public. They're not telling us the truth. Housing first, in a lot of cases, doesn't work, and it should be coupled with the offer for recovery. There is no nooks and crannies or hills or any particularly difficult terrain. You can walk literally right across 5 freeway from the soccer fields in Griffith Park, and this encampment was right here to the right side.
So a little more than 6 people die on LA streets from homelessness every day. That's the most recent statistic. But we also just got another statement from Councilwoman Nithya Raman's office calling this loss devastating. She says no one deserves to die on our streets. We have the funding. We need the political will to get it out the door to connect people to the services and housing that can save lives. We're reporting live tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Okay, so does that mean that she's going to physically be out there with the team, perhaps in the morning? And you've been out there multiple times. Is steep terrain and the culverts an issue?
So there are encampments in the culverts. It's steep, but I mean, you can see homeless people walking up and down. We've walked up and down them. To me, I don't think that's a major issue. As for if her staff or any, city leaders could be out there doing some sort of major cleanup, we haven't gotten that sort of response so far. All we got was anything relating to that on Monday, saying that the terrain is an issue for them with cleaning it up.
Well, obviously you could tell from what that woman was saying that statement is absurd. And then, Matthew, I mean, from the stories you did last week in the storm drains to this story, I mean, we're seeing over and over again that despite everyone's efforts, this problem seems like insurmountable. And that woman's anger was really, I understood it so well.
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating, right? I mean, we keep seeing this over and over again, and we hear from people that are living out here homeless, and we actually just talked to a woman today who says that she's been homeless living along the LA River for 30 years. So this problem has been ongoing, but there's also a lot of people that don't want the help. And at this point, there's really nothing we can do as the city or for city officials to get the people help that don't want the help.
Well, we appreciate your
Thanks. Keep doing what you're doing.
Reporting, Matthew. Great job. Thank you. A dramatic rescue in Moreno Valley tonight. Deputies and firefighters were called to the area near Pigeon Pass Road late this afternoon after the man couldn't find his way out. A sheriff's rescue helicopter found him, used a hoist, as you can see, lifted him to safety. He was flown to a nearby park and checked by paramedics. Authorities say he was not hurt, just unable to get out on his own.
Relevant tonight, federal agents in downtown Los Angeles unveil Operation Never Say Die, is their name for it. 15 people, including doctors and nurses, charged in a huge $60 million hospice fraud scheme. Officials say LA County now accounts for 18% of all hospice billing nationwide. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon has been on this story. She has the breakdown. Rachel?
Federal authorities announcing earlier today that there are some pretty big charges and pretty big arrests at that when it relates to these so-called hospital and hospice facilities here in Southern California. But authorities say when it comes to the actual victims, in the long term, the impact will likely be on the taxpayers.
Hospice in Southern California is an entire different level of fraud.
Top federal officials announcing a massive crackdown on hospice fraud in the greater LA area. This is video of federal agents early Thursday morning executing multiple search warrants and arrests across Southern California, from Anaheim to Glendale. Those arrested include nurses and doctors.
We are announcing charges against 15 separate individuals who engaged in healthcare fraud, resulting in losses close to $60 million.
Officials say many of those people were operating fraudulent hospice care facilities and stealing millions in taxpayer money by targeting Medicare.
Medicare reimbursed these companies for services that were intended to go to patients dying from a terminal illness.
Prosecutors allege some of these facilities offered people $300 monthly cash payments to sign up for hospice, despite not being terminally ill.
Just to give you some hard numbers, 1,800 hospices in California.
On Thursday, Dr. Mehmet Oz, administrator for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, says the numbers in Southern California speak for themselves and that their work is far from over.
Nationwide, we have just over 6,000 hospices. So why would almost 1/3 of all the hospices in the whole country be in Los Angeles County? And we're going after these folks. We believe half of them are fraudulent.
An example of that fraudulent action right there. Authorities say that this morning they arrested a 65-year-old woman in Anaheim who allegedly was charging Medicare $9 million over a 5-year span for allegedly caring for terminally ill patients. Again, federal authorities say that was not the case, but that's one of many examples, they say, of what's going on here in Southern California. We're in live tonight. I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
Hey, Rachel, thank you so much. President Trump announced today he has fired Attorney General Pam Bondi. There's no official word on who will permanently replace her as the nation's top lawyer. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
Bondi is out and Blanche is in at the Department of Justice. President Trump announcing Thursday that he had fired Attorney General Pam Bondi and put in her number 2, Todd Blanche, as acting AG.
She has had many of the traits that the president values the most, and that's why I believe it's coming as a considerable surprise to many.
Bondi has been on thin ice for months with the president, first for overpromising on the Epstein files.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
That set off a feeding frenzy by MAGA influencers who lashed out when they realized the documents she released to great fanfare had already been made public. Then Wednesday, Trump was not happy after the DOJ's underperformance, arguing to end birthright citizenship before the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but what about the Constitution?
But Trump praised Bondi on Thursday, saying, "We love Pam," and announcing she would be moving to a job in the private sector. Blanche is thought to be in the running to permanently replace her. So is Lee Zeldin, the head of the Environmental Protection Agency. Democrats are also weighing in on potential successors.
No one could be worse than Pam Bondi. She has been a catastrophic attorney general.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer also reacting Thursday, posting good riddance. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
New tonight, detectives in Baldwin Park recovered nearly 1,800 stolen catalytic converters in Norwalk earlier today, worth about $500,000. Multiple arrests made, vehicles seized. Authorities say it's part of an ongoing investigation. Police pursuit last night ends in the worst possible way in Pomona. 2 innocent people killed when their cars struck by a domestic violence suspect fleeing police. Fox 11's Nick Garcia explains what happened.
Tragic end to a police chase in Pomona Wednesday night when the suspect's pickup truck slammed into a car on Gary Avenue near County Road. Police say 2 innocent people in the sedan died instantly. It all started with a domestic violence call at a home down the street. Pomona police officers say as they were talking with the victim, the suspect returned in his truck, striking a patrol car. The suspect, now identified as Marshall Judson, then led officers on a chase, during which police say he was armed and driving under the influence. This comes just days after a pursuit in San Clemente came to a deadly end. An innocent woman was killed after a stolen U-Haul van being chased by Orange County Sheriff's deputies crashed into her car. Back in Pomona, loved ones devastated by the loss, but too distraught to speak on camera. Both incidents a grim reminder of why officers say it's so reckless of suspects to try evading police. putting countless innocent lives on the road at risk. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
A popular Target store in Burbank still closed after a fire Sunday. Tonight we've learned a woman has been arrested on suspicion of arson. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez has that story.
Do you know when you're going to reopen?
We're going to try to aim for Monday.
The Target at Burbank's Empire Center, where crews are still trying to repair damage from a Sunday night fire that seemed to erupt near the pillow section. The store was evacuated with no injuries to shoppers, employees, or firefighters. Arson was suspected and is now confirmed by Burbank police with the arrest of 27-year-old Stephanie Irene Mendoza. Officers were seen at the extended stay just up the street from the Target by witnesses who do not want to be identified.
3 guys, 3 cops, escorted one of the women out.
From the hotel.
From the hotel.
We've also learned 2 other people were detained at the hotel and arrested for unrelated charges. It seems they were captured on security video leaving the Target and arriving at the hotel at about the same time the fire started.
The people that set the fire were staying there, and they brought in a bunch of stuff from the Target in 2 carts. It doesn't surprise me. It's just, I didn't expect it.
Again, this woman, the 27-year-old, is the only one charged and only with arson. But police saying if anyone has any information to please give them a call. In Burbank, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Still ahead here in the 8 o'clock hour, a look at day 2 in space for the Artemis II astronauts.
Plus, a dramatic rescue in Hermosa Beach. A young great white caught on a fishing line is freed by a brave beach goer with some help.
And as we head into our Friday, but also the weekend, we are looking at some warmer temperatures. I'll have the details and everything you need to know on the other side of this break.
Today marked the second day of the Artemis II mission and the crew's first full day in space. Tonight it was a go for the crew on board the Orion spacecraft.
Yeah, the mission management team voting to give unanimous approval for the trans-lunar injection burn. What does that mean? Fox's Caroline Shively explains.
We are now on a trajectory to fly around the moon for the first time in over 50 years.
This trans-lunar injection burn Thursday night was the final step before the Orion spacecraft shot away from Earth's orbit and onto its historic path to the moon.
The burn that commits us to flying around the moon.
It's the last major engine firing of the 10-day mission and will propel the 4-person crew out of Earth's gravitational pull.
I am so excited to be able to tell you that for the first time since 1972, during Apollo 17, human beings have left Earth orbit.
The astronauts won't land on the moon, but will fly around the backside of it, the deepest any human has ever been in space.
Our crew is healthy, and our spacecraft is performing really well.
The crew members took off from Kennedy Space Center Wednesday night and have been working and sleeping in very tight quarters, eating a surprisingly diverse menu, including veggie quiche and mango smoothies, and trying to find a little privacy for bathroom breaks in a cabin the size of 2 minivans.
We started with some checkouts by the crew from both the water dispenser and the toilet. Those were successful.
Thursday's engine burn also put the crew on the path to harness the moon's gravity that should slingshot them back to Earth on April 10th. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Earlier today, a federal judge in New York dismissed sexual harassment claims filed by Blake Lively against her It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni. The judge ruled Lively was an independent contractor not covered under federal workplace harassment law. However, 2 retaliation claims will still move forward as the case heads toward a trial scheduled for May.
Okay, check this out. Hermosa Beach, a young great white shark got caught on a fishing line right at the shoreline. Young man unhooked the fishing line, little assist from a lifeguard there, and then made sure the shark went back into the ocean. What was that like?
It actually lunged at me. There's I don't know if you have the videos of it, but it lunged at me and almost got me. Which then after that, it just swam off fine. Because after we got the hook off, you know, we're trying to handle it, try to drag it back in the water. Come on, girl.
8 feet. Man says he accidentally hooked the young shark while fishing from the pier. It is, of course, illegal in California to intentionally bring a shark in on a fishing line. Ed Laskos is actually on this story, and we look forward to his report in the 9 o'clock hour.
I can already hear him now.
Oh, yeah, you betcha.
Coming up, a heartwarming moment in a very frightening situation.
Firefighters rush into a burning home. I'll tell you why next.
Sherman Oaks family is most grateful tonight after firefighters saved their dog. A fire broke out last night on Rhinestone Drive. Flames spread from outside into the home and also to the attached garage. Firefighters got everyone out safely. Then they learned one dog was still inside the smoke-filled home, and they went back in and found the dog safe. There's the moment. A camera captured that moment. The rescue turned into relief as the dog ran back into its owner's arms. Firefighters put the fire out in less than 30 minutes. No one was hurt.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
Live look from our LAX camera, and I think those are planes up there, right? I think so.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's check in with our meteorologist, Star Harvey, tonight as we look toward the weekend. It's a holiday weekend, and we have Easter Sunday, of course.
We do. You know, I'm taking a look here too, Marla, to see what you see, and I'm like, they're either planes or stars, so I definitely think they're planes out there. We do have beautiful clear skies. Will continue that way, and as we do head into our Easter weekend, we do have a warm-up arriving just in time. We had a disturbance that moved across the area, brought us in some of those rain chances earlier this week, but we do have a ridge of high pressure working its way into the region, and it is expected to impact us as early as tomorrow. Again, we are left behind with this Thursday. Gorgeous conditions out there. We have mostly clear skies. Temperatures at 63 degrees across the LA area, and our winds a little bit calmer as we push into our 8 o'clock hour here out of the west at about 9 miles per hour. 64 degrees up in Glendora right now. Over in Anaheim, you're at 67 degrees, 62 in Ontario, and we also have a 62 here at the LAX airport. Now, as we shift gears into tonight, most of us will be under the clear skies. We may have some partly cloudy skies out there across some of the area, but otherwise temperatures going right around where they are typically at. So on normal, our lows dropping down into the 50s. We'll have a few of our areas like the mountains dipping below that freezing mark, and then our mild spot is going to be those low deserts. Here's a quick check into tomorrow for the LA area. We are expecting to have our afternoon under mostly sunny skies and temperatures topping off in the upper 70s to low 80s. So we're going about 10 degrees above where we were today. But that also puts us about 10 degrees above our averages. Now, we've seen LA. How about the coastline? Coast is going to be a little bit cooler moving into tomorrow. I have it set at the 9 a.m. hour tomorrow morning for Laguna Beach. We will be dealing with those mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies out there, and still with that, temperatures will be able to warm to the 70s. Now, we do have a few wind advisories in place, and this is because as we move into tomorrow morning, we are expecting to have a Santa Ana wind event arrive for us, and we're expecting it to be moderate to strong in nature. It will carry from tomorrow morning around the 6 a.m. hour and go through the 6 p.m. hour, and you'll see all of our beige highlighted area here. The LA Basin not included in this is a wind advisory, indicating that our winds could get as high as 50 miles per hour. And then we do have those darker colors there, and this is going to be up that I-5 corridor, some of our deserts, but also the coastline near the Ventura County area. We are expecting to have winds potentially gusting as high as 65 miles per hour. Those winds likely to kick into tomorrow as well as Saturday. Now, across the LA area, you will note that our winds are moving in those single digits. We'll start off on the calmer side, but as we do push into our afternoon, some of those outlying areas are expecting to see those winds pick up. And then as we move back into tomorrow evening, we are expecting to see our winds calming back down. Here's a look at our forecast for this weekend. We're shooting for the 80s across the board for the LA area. So if you do have those Easter Sunday plans, going to church, Easter egg hunt, whatever it may be, we are expecting your temperatures to be in the 80s for the LA area. Slightly cooler along the coast, but still, it's going to be nice out there. We'll start the weekend off in the 70s, and we are expecting to end that way as well. And then as we prepare to head into next week, temperatures will be taking a dive. I'll have the details on that, plus your 7-day coming up. For now, back to you.
Thank you, Star. Still ahead here as the war in Iran continues. Of course, gas prices continue to go up, up, up. We'll tell you if we pass the $6 per gallon mark.
Well, it's a scary moment for a family in Carson as their young child is attacked by a coyote. That story is next.
live across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Typhus cases are climbing in LA County. Health officials say the illness spreads through infected fleas and can turn serious. Fox 11's Susan Harrisuna says what you need to watch for.
Rats, opossums, and free-roaming cats. They get the blame for a rising number of typhus cases.
Whenever there is increased nesting spaces for these animals, whenever human behavior changes so that there's more contact with these animals, then the risk will increase.
So far in LA County, there have been 220 reported cases of flea-borne typhus, and it's only April. 220 was the total number of cases for 2025. What is flea-borne typhus? Typhus is a bacteria transmitted by fleas. The advice is to give flea medication to pets and take measures to keep the feral animals away.
Avoid contact with free-roaming animals, so to make sure that there is no food that we're leaving outside, make sure that the vegetation around our homes is trimmed, make sure there's no trash where rats can come and nest.
Dr. Halai wouldn't be specific about the hot zones for typhus.
It puts us on high alert.
But the Los Angeles Mission knows conditions like these can put the homeless at risk. Rowan Vansleeve relies on the public health department to alert him if there's typhus here. Even without a warning, the LA Mission takes steps to keep the disease away.
So we're not able to remove the pets. Rather, we take a different approach. We engage with veterinarians to come on site and provide pet care for the animals, making sure we can maintain hygiene and health.
How do you know if you contracted typhus? Unfortunately, the symptoms are flu-like.
Which is why prevention is so important, right? But yes, those are very non-specific. They can progress to severe disease. So it's very important that if you have those symptoms, if you have risk factors, go to your doctor.
And because of those vague symptoms, typhus fever is often misdiagnosed. That's why the advice is to tell your doctor about the possibility of typhus. Researchers also say when they go and talk to people who've had typhus, oftentimes they say they don't remember being bitten by fleas. In downtown Los Angeles, Susan Harrisuna, Fox 11 News.
A coyote attack leaves a 4-year-old boy injured near Ambler Avenue Elementary School in Carson. The moment's caught on camera, and now the search is on for that coyote. Fox 11's Haley Winslow reports from Carson, where officials say this might be the same coyote from a prior attack.
Caught on camera, a coyote attacks a kid in Carson. 4-year-old Solomon is playing with a stick Tuesday morning. His mom a few feet away grabbing groceries when this coyote creeps up and bites the child's leg, knocks him down, then bites the boy again.
I just hear him screaming and I turn around and I scream as well because I see the coyote on top of him.
Their screams scare away the wild animal, and Serena Denohu runs her son inside.
I was so scared because I know how bad it could have been. My initial response was just, I need to get him away and I need to see if he's okay.
7 puncture wounds on the front and back of Solomon's leg and torso.
It bit me. It was trying to drag me.
He got nipped 3 times, and now he's going through rabies protocol. He's 4 years old, you know, and I just think it was a little much for a young child to experience.
For a wild animal to walk up into your yard and try to snatch your grandchild, it's like the most horrific thing in the world.
I'm just glad it wasn't a mountain lion, you know, or a bear.
California Fish and Wildlife tells me through DNA testing, this coyote attacked another child in February. They're also trying to see if it's linked to 2 other recent incidents. A 31-year-old woman bitten last week in Gardena, and another small child attacked Monday at Carson's Dignity Health Sports Park. Once caught, wildlife officials will euthanize the coyote that attacked little Solomon, but say because they're so territorial, they can't relocate the others.
It's a wild animal. If it wants to get in somewhere, it can climb a fence, it can do whatever. So they need to take it more seriously because the amount of families and kids in this area.
Does it hurt?
It tickled.
The rabies shot hurt more, huh?
Though a brave boy,
I don't want to.
Super Solly says he's now a little scared to play outside. Little Solomon usually lives in a townhouse, so he loves coming to Grandma and Grandpa's because he gets to be a kid, do what he loves to do best, which is play in the yard with a stick. Now, of course, he's thinking twice about doing just that. Reporting in Carson, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
A new text scam targeting drivers claiming you owe money for tickets or tolls. LA County Superior Court, though, says these messages are fake. The texts claim you owe fees for traffic violations. They often include links or QR codes demanding payment. Officials say the court never asked for payment by text. They urge you to not click any links or share any personal info. So if you get one of these messages, definitely delete it. If you think you might have a real ticket outstanding, you go to the court website or call the traffic office. Now to the war in the Middle East. Iran launched new missile attacks on Israel and Gulf Arab states today. The offensive forcing many Jews to change their traditional Passover plans. Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv with more.
The Seder dinner, a centerpiece of the High Holy Day, celebrated under parking garages to protect from relentless Iranian missile fire into Israel. The Latin Patriarch held Holy Thursday prayers in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem without the public, because the ancient church on the spot where it's believed Jesus was crucified doesn't have bomb shelters. With troops already in southern Lebanon, Israel's defense minister is warning Hezbollah's new Secretary General, Naim Qassem, that he will pay a heavy price for firing rockets into Israel during the holy days.
You will be deep at the bottom of hell, together with Nasrallah, Khomeini, Sinwar, and all the eliminated members of the axis of evil.
President Trump posted a video he says shows the biggest bridge in Iran tumbling down with the message, "It is time for Iran to make a deal before it is too late." Iran responded by posting a list of bridges from Jordan to Abu Dhabi that are now potential targets and insists Israel and the U.S. have not damaged the regime's war machine.
Our strategic military production takes place in locations you are completely unaware of and will never be able to reach.
The IDF claims to have hit headquarters that Iran used to finance its military operation, as Israel releases figures claiming 20% of the regime's budget is spent on weapons. The release says $2 billion were given to Hezbollah in 2025, and hundreds of millions are funneled to Hamas so it can strike at Israel from Gaza and the West Bank. That bridge featured in the president's post is a new bridge called the B1 Bridge, 25 miles west of Tehran. The semi-state-run Fars news agency says when it was blown up, 8 people were killed, 95 injured. In Tel Aviv, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Well, as the war in Iran continues, gas prices rise. The average price per gallon in LA County is now at $6. Orange County, it's $5.93. Ventura County, $5.96. Riverside County, $5.85. San Bernardino County, $5.87.
New numbers showing layoffs in the U.S. are still fairly low. The Labor Department says about 202,000 people filed for unemployment benefits last week, fewer than economists expected, even with rising energy costs tied to the Iran war and some big companies announcing cuts. The job market still holding steady.
Bed Bath & Beyond is making a major retail move by buying the Container Store. The $150 million deal includes the company's Elfa and Closet Works brands. More than 100 Container Store locations will be renamed Container Store and Bed Bath & Beyond. The stores will also begin offering new home products, including flooring, lighting, cabinets for kitchens, laundry rooms, and bathrooms.
A county golf course in South LA gets a $20 million makeover, now reopened to the public. Fox 11's Brooke Thomas, who's apparently a golfer, stopped by the Maggie Hathaway golf course.
Hey there, I'm here in South LA at this absolutely gorgeous golf course, and it's not just gorgeous, it's impactful, it's important because just the existence helps break down barriers when it comes to golf feeling out of touch for underserved communities. Vincent, come on over here, talk to me about this. I mean, it's really kind of like a new golf course now. It's a rebirth, though. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's renovated. It's a Gil Hans design. But this 9-hole par 3 course is welcome to all. It's right here in South Los Angeles, and folks are excited to come back.
Yeah.
It's been open just from the weekend, but you can see the excitement, and folks are ready to play.
What's the best thing to you about this?
The affordability. For adults, it's $950. That's really affordable for golf. For kids, they won't pay more than $225 ever. And you can play it very quickly, so folks can get in and get out. Doesn't have to chew up their whole day, and people really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's accessible in many ways for many different reasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Devin, come on over here. So Devin is owner CEO at Studio Golf. He is actually my golf instructor, and my last lesson, I think it was like January, and we were talking about, I had this story coming up, and this is really cool. He was educating me on gill hunts, a little bit, yes, and why this is really cool. And so I said, come on out here, come when I do it. And you're out here. What are your first thoughts when you see this?
I was blown away. The second I walked up, I immediately was like, Gill Hans has been here, A. But B, it's just such an incredible practice facility. I mean, it's one of the best in LA, in my opinion. I mean, you have great short game area, huge putting green, bunker, pitching area, short grass, long grass, and then this range is beautiful. So good for kids, such a great way to learn golf. Same thing on the golf course, so they did an absolute home run here.
Yeah, we need more people learning the sport, right?
The more the merrier. We all love you. Come on out.
The more the merrier. Okay, I'm going to send things back to you all in the studio. But before I go, I just want to let you know, so this golf course was named after a really important woman. She was an activist, a singer, an actress, but also a golfer. And it was really important to her to, for black players to exist in the golf world. And they named this golf course after her, I believe, in the late 90s. And it's just been under this some $20 million renovation. And I think it just it goes to show everybody matters. Everybody belongs in the sport. I'll send things back to you.
Speaking of golf.
Yes. Coming up, yes, this, of course.
I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Right. Newly released body cam video from Tiger Woods' DUI arrest after a rollover crash.
Maybe I shouldn't say it's unbelievable, right? It's happened like 5 times. What investigators say they found and why the golf legend is now stepping away from the sport.
As we arrive at this weekend, we are expecting temperatures to warm up for us, and it's going to land on some beautiful conditions for your Easter Sunday. I'll have those details coming up.
All right, we are following breaking news. This is out of Temple City. This is the end of a pursuit. Sky Fox is live over the San Gabriel River, and you can see this is right there on the overpass, and the search down below. Yes, I can see that the search. Okay, so the end of a pursuit in Temple City. There's a suspect that is clinging, who is clinging to the pylon there, trying to stay out of handcuffs.
Yeah, it's not a lot of information. It was a sheriff's department pursuit. Reckless driving, I think, was the initial charge.
Yeah, and it started in El Monte. So hard to get a good look at the suspect, but down below, and you can see the searchlight, the spotlights down there. This is Valley Boulevard. We'll keep a watch on this. And
yeah, they're always, intense because, that story that we had earlier from Nick Garcia, I mean, it's always so dangerous when these things happen. You can see, someone's in the spotlight there. Is that law enforcement?
Yeah, it's law enforcement going down. They're in negotiations right now.
Okay.
We'll keep a watch and update you when we get an ending. All right, a scary moment caught on camera in Seattle. A man is facing an attempted murder charge after disturbing surveillance video shows him allegedly trying to shove a stranger in front of a moving train. Authorities say the victim was looking at his phone on a light rail platform when that suspect pushed him toward the arriving train. The victim managed to steady himself, as you just saw. Deputies later tracked down that suspect and arrested him. Well, the fallout from Tiger Woods' DUI rollover crash continues.
Sheriff's Department releasing very up-close and personal body cam footage of the golf legend's arrest. Fox's Caroline Elliott has the story.
So at this time, I do believe your normal faculties are impaired, okay, and you're under the unknown substance, okay, so at this time you're under arrest for DUI.
The Martin County Sheriff's Office releasing never-before-seen body cam video after Tiger Woods' DUI rollover crash. Reports say the golf legend took a sobriety test on scene but failed to hold his head still or pass a basic hand coordination test.
Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment.
DUI investigators arrested Tiger Woods on scene of the crash, searched him, and found hydrocodone pills in his pocket.
Narco? Yeah. Okay.
Woods reportedly told police up front he was on several prescription medications, but it was clear to investigators that he took too much.
I don't think there's any doubt that his driver's license should be taken at this point in time.
After his arrest, Tiger Woods announced he's stepping away from golf to, quote, seek treatment and focus on my health. It's reportedly the fourth time the golf star has gone to treatment, and this time the judge is allowing him to leave the U.S. and go to rehab overseas, citing security concerns.
He's going to have to fix a lot of the things that are going on in his life. I'm certainly praying for him.
Tiger Woods pled not guilty to DUI charges earlier this week and could face up to a year in jail if he's convicted. Meantime, Team USA is now planning to go to the Ryder Cup next year without him as captain. In New York, Caroline Elliott, Fox News.
What can you say at this point about?
Well, you can say a whole lot, actually. This has happened so many times, but obviously you just wish
I mean,
the
I think
best.
people
ultimately.
I don't know if people are sympathetic anymore.
I think there is a section of the crowd, especially the loyal golfers.
I don't even think golf has anything to do with it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But at least he's, trying once again to get help. I mean, how many stories have we done on how many times it takes for people to get,
that they need.
One day at a time.
Clean, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll wish him the best.
Yeah.
And then I just saw today that Phil Mickelson's not going to be in the Masters. We could talk golf all day. Sorry, Star.
Are you a golfer?
No.
No. Brooke, did you see Brooke earlier?
I did. Brooke, she does her thing on the golf course.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm a soccer mom.
Okay.
That's what I do.
All right.
That's enough.
That is more than enough.
More than enough. Amen to that.
Yes.
Yeah. To your Bryce.
Yes, my baby. This weekend, if you have any plans getting out on the golf course, or perhaps doing your Easter Sunday thing, some gorgeous weather ahead of us. We have a quick turnaround because most of this week our temperatures have been closer to their averages. We've even dealt with some wet weather earlier this week. All of that associated with the system sitting off to the north and east of us. That system has passed and we are left behind with what is headed this way, and it is going to be a high pressure system. That high is going to drive in a ridge, and that ridge heats us up over the next couple of days or so, or few days. We do welcome in an offshore wind pattern that is going to be our Santa Ana event. It does arrive for us tomorrow. It's expected to be on the moderate to strong side, and it is expected to last for a few days. And just like the warm conditions are. We are expecting that our temperatures are going to jump into the 80s across most of the area. We will have a few 90s as well, and that will be short-lived because as we arrive at the start of next week, we are expecting to see our temperatures backing down to where they are typically at around this time of the year. That is going to be look at downtown for today. Our normal is 70 degrees. You'll see today we touched 69, so just 1 degree shy of hitting right on the spot there. Our temperatures outside right now, 62 degrees in Santa Monica. We do have some clouds moving across the area, so a stream of coolish conditions for today, again associated with our disturbance as we continue to see it push off to the east of us. Here's a look into our high pressure system here. Now this system is expected to not just impact us for tomorrow, it stretches into Saturday as well as Sunday, and again most of us seeing those temperatures driving about 10 to 15 degrees above their averages, and we'll be saying goodbye to that high pressure system by the time we arrive at the start of next week, as I'm tracking a low moving in offshore, and it not due to arrive for us until we start next week, and then it will impact us for a couple of days. In fact, most of next week we are expecting to see those temperatures right around their averages. We also have a wind alerts in place. This is going to be a wind advisory. All of our highlighted beige area there, we're expecting to see those gusts to potentially get as high as 50 miles per hour. And then we also have a high wind warning. This is going to be for some of those darker colors here on our map, where we could see our winds potentially gusting as high as 65 miles per hour. These alerts are in place from tomorrow morning. The 6 a.m. hour do carry through the 6 p.m. hour, but likely to see these alerts extend into the weekend. I'll be back with those details plus your 7-day coming up. Back to you.
Hey, Star, we still have a lot more news ahead at 8.
Right, but first, here's a preview of what's coming up at 9. Remember this video earlier this week, a road rage encounter. 2 reality stars, victims of road rage. Well, tonight, we have an arrest. We have those details at 9. Plus, it's still more than 2 years away, but tickets for the 2028 Olympic Games in LA are about to go on sale. What you need to know ahead at 9.
You know the name Alice Harris, one of LA's most beloved community leaders. She's known simply as Sweet Alice, and today she's helping make Easter extra special for some families in need. Good Day LA's Coco McAvoy has the story from Watts.
That's right. We are here in Watts at what's known as Dr. Sweet Alice Row for an amazing Easter giveaway, helping dozens upon dozens of families here in the community. You can see all of the clothing that's being offered to the kids. They're giving away Easter dresses, suits for the boys, clothing as well. And we have seen families come through, and they're so grateful for all of the help from Dr. Sweet Alice Harris as well, and all she does to uplift the community. Many of them saying that they're also grateful for the fact that she's giving away gift cards to Food for Less, really making their Easter special. Now, you're also looking at some video where you can see her other giveaways that she's known for, such as her turkey giveaways and Christmas giveaways as well, where she helps the community in those instances and for those holidays too. We spoke with her about why it's so important for her to do this. Why is it so important to you to have this event?
It's important to me because the first thing when I was little, we had the same problem. We didn't have nothing, 11 of us, and we didn't have nothing. And we have to stand around and see the others cheering with their toys and go in the house, go somewhere, hide somewhere, and then let them see us crying and cry. But I said one time later, it ain't gonna never happen to me. When I get grown, I'm gonna have me a job, and I'm gonna have my children ain't gonna have to suffer.
And she has truly done so much for the community. You're seeing all of the beautiful pieces of clothing that's available to the community to come and be able to take for Easter, but for also any day as well. Even purses for the little girls that I've been seeing so many girls' faces light up when they see this item as well. So definitely an Easter for them to remember here in Watts. I'll send it back to you.
Oh, Coco, thank you. Finally, new at 8, the AT&T Dunk Bus rolled into Inglewood for Clippers Community Day and HBCU night at the Intuit Dome. How fun. Students got a chance to dunk, play NBA 2K, and meet NBA legends, while fans scored limited edition merch from local artists. Now, that's a day they'll never, ever forget.
That rim is about my height there. That was good.
That was
good
impressive.
Possibility.
That's right.
Intuit Dome's fun. A lot of action there. Getting ready for the playoffs to start in the NBA.
I know.
Clippers and Lakers.
And of course, we got the boys in blue.
Right.
All right, lot to cover, and don't go anywhere. LA Live News Tonight continues at 9.
live across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 9, tragedy strikes a local homeless encampment. We have new details on a death reported just days after our first report. Operation Never Say Die. Federal agents bust a $60 million fraud ring. Doctors and nurses are now facing charges.
As we head into our Easter weekend, I do have the details on the warm-up headed this way.
And we begin at 9 o'clock, though, with breaking news. This is out of Temple City. Live pictures thanks to Skyfox over the San Gabriel River, where the suspect is clinging onto a pillar. You see the search down below there in the riverbed and the spotlight, and we highlight that. Well, right there is the suspect. Hard to make him out there, but this is underneath the freeway near Valley Boulevard. This all started in El Monte as a reckless driver pursuit. LASD pursued that person when he finally jumped out here. LASD and fire are now negotiating with that suspect to get him out of the water. The water has to be cold. I bet it is. So you can see the crews down below, the steep terrain, the pillars, the pylons. We'll keep a watch on this. We were over this about 10 minutes ago with our first eyes on it. So if anything develops as that standoff continues, we will keep you up to speed. In the meantime, we will welcome you into the Fox 11 studios and say good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. Thanks for being with us. I'm Marla Tejas. A follow-up now to a story you saw first on Fox 11, a deadly turn along the LA River just days after our first report. A homeless person is found dead, possibly from an overdose. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf back near Griffith Park with this update for us. Matthew?
Well, Marla, police are now investigating this man's death just 3 days after we were here reporting on safety concerns and drug concerns. Go ahead and take a look at this video. This is police there earlier this morning. This is right along the LA River, right across from Griffith Park. Police out there finding the man unresponsive in his tent. Now, according to a homeless advocate, the man went by the name Venezuela and had been in and out of shelters here for years. She believes his death was likely a drug overdose. As we highlighted Monday, there's needles and drug paraphernalia all over out here, along with dozens of people living in tents and storm drains. When we brought this issue to Councilwoman and mayoral candidate Nithya Raman's office Monday, they said it's hard to clean up because of steep slopes and culverts, and now this happens 3 days later.
I feel sick to my stomach. I feel angry. I feel like what we're being told is complete lies, and has been, and I've known about it for 3.5 years. But the platitudes that they issue, the political correct statements, whatever they say on air, back to the press, is untrue. They're gaslighting the public. They're not telling us the truth. Housing first, in a lot of cases, doesn't work, and it should be coupled with the offer for recovery. There is no nooks and crannies or hills or any particularly difficult terrain. You can walk literally right across 5 freeway from the soccer fields in Griffith Park, and this encampment was right here to the right side.
Now, Raman's office sent us a new statement tonight calling this tragic, also saying that no one deserves to die on our streets. We have the funding. We need the political will to get it out the door to connect people to the services and housing that can save lives. We're reporting live tonight. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Matthew, ultimately, what do we make of that statement? We know that she's running for mayor. When she says that we need the political will, I mean, this is her district, right?
Yeah, and she's talking about funding, so it almost sounds like she's maybe pointing the finger a little bit towards the rest of City Council, possibly Mayor Karen Bass, wanting approval to get the funding for her district to help specifically along the LA River.
But in that statement, no actual plans, or she doesn't announce plans to visit there and to do what they can to get services to the people who might take those and clean this encampment up?
No plans announced so far. The last thing we heard about anything relating to a cleanup was the difficulties, the challenges relating to the steep terrain and the culverts, so nothing announced just yet. As we've been reporting, though, at least 6 people die in the homelessness category across LA County every day.
A staggering statistic. All right, Matthew Seedorf, excellent reporting as always. Thank you. An update now to a story we first brought you a few weeks ago. LAPD arresting a child in connection with the death of 12-year-old Kimberly Zavaleta Chiquipa. The Reseda Middle School student died after a metal water bottle was reportedly thrown at her head during a bullying incident in February. The district is cooperating with police as the family calls for justice and an end to campus violence. A police pursuit ends in the worst possible way in Pomona. 2 innocent people are killed when their car is struck by a domestic violence suspect fleeing police. Fox 11's Nick Garcia has that story.
A tragic end to a police chase in Pomona Wednesday night when the suspect's pickup truck slammed into a car on Gary Avenue near County Road. Police say 2 innocent people in the sedan died instantly. It all started with a domestic violence call at a home down the street. Pomona police officers say as they were talking with the victim, the suspect returned in his truck, striking a patrol car. The suspect, now identified as Marshall Judson, then led officers on a chase, during which police say he was armed and driving under the influence. This comes just days after a pursuit in San Clemente came to a deadly end. An innocent woman was killed after a stolen U-Haul van being chased by Orange County Sheriff's deputies crashed into her car. Back in Pomona, loved ones devastated by the loss, but too distraught to speak on camera. Both incidents a grim reminder of why officers say it's so reckless of suspects to try evading police, putting countless innocent lives on the road at risk. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Follow up to a story we first told you about Monday. Police have now arrested Kevin Antonio Hernandez for felony vandalism following a dramatic encounter in Hollywood. Reality stars Patrick Simpson and Paul Attou say Hernandez unprovokedly attacked their car at Melrose and Vine on Sunday. The pair managed to track the suspect's license plate, leading to the arrest after a terrifying confrontation at the busy intersection. New tonight, Pam Bondi is out as Attorney General after a rough 14 months on the job. President Trump making this announcement earlier today, calling Bondi a loyal friend before she heads to the private sector. Her turbulent 14 months were marked by mass DOJ firings and backlash over the Epstein case files. Earlier today on the Fox LA stream, political strategist Luis Alvarado weighed in on the departure.
Donald Trump, certainly with those words that he's putting in the Truth Social, she didn't qualify for what I needed. I'm going to give her a soft landing, probably because Pam Bondi has, if she was to be disgruntled, I'm sure she has a lot of things she could talk to the press about that would not make this administration happy.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche is taking over as acting Attorney General. Blanche, who used to run Trump's criminal defense team, has worked on several big cases, including Trump's hush money trial in New York. Live look outside. Oh, this is one of my favorite shots. This is from West Los Angeles, looking off toward downtown LA. It looks a little hazy. It may just be the camera. Nonetheless, let's bring in meteorologist Star Harvey for a look at the forecast. Yes. We cooled it off. Now we warm it up before we cool it off again.
Yes, it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster ride. The good news, Marla, is that we have gotten rid of the wet weather and we are left behind what is going to be a mini little heat up across the weekend. So as you can see now, we are continuing under dry conditions, most of us under those clear skies. We do have some patchy clouds forming across the area, but the downtown LA area coming in pretty nice out there. 63 degrees, so those temperatures definitely dropping down closer to their lows. And we do have a nice westerly wind kicking up right now at about 15 miles per hour. So that's a little heavier than what we saw about an hour ago. They were in single digits. We're at 64 degrees right now in Glendora, 61 in Whittier, as well as Corona and Riverside. Over into the San Fernando Valley, 57 in Woodland Hills, and up in Thousand Oaks, your temperatures right now 55 degrees. As we shift gears to tonight, LA, we are expecting to be under mostly clear skies, and with that, our temperatures backing down into the low to mid 50s. We'll have a couple of those 40s scattered across our interior sections, and our mountains dropping down to the 20s. I'll have more details on the warm-up headed in for your Easter weekend coming up. For now, Marla, back to you.
All right, Star, thanks so much. Developing tonight, federal agents in downtown LA unveil Operation Never Say Die. 15 people, including doctors and nurses, are charged in a $60 million hospice fraud scheme. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon has that story.
Today, federal authorities announcing some pretty big charges and some pretty big arrests as it relates to these so-called hospice facilities here in Southern California. But when it comes to victims, authorities say in the long term, the ones that are going to pay the most are the American taxpayers.
Hospice in Southern California is an entire different level of fraud.
Top federal officials announcing a massive crackdown on hospice fraud in the greater LA area. This is video of federal agents early Thursday morning, executing multiple search warrants and arrests across Southern California, from Anaheim to Glendale. Those arrested include nurses and doctors.
We are announcing charges against 15 separate individuals who engaged in healthcare fraud, resulting in losses close to $60 million.
Officials say many of those people were operating fraudulent hospice care facilities and stealing millions in taxpayer money by targeting Medicare.
Medicare reimbursed these companies for services that were intended to go to patients dying from a terminal illness.
Prosecutors allege some of these facilities offered people $300 monthly cash payments to sign up for hospice, despite not being terminally ill.
Just to give you some hard numbers, 1,800 hospices in California.
On Thursday, Dr. Mehmet Oz, administrator for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, says the numbers in Southern California speak for themselves and that their work is far from over.
Nationwide, we have just over 6,000 hospices. So why would almost 1/3 of all the hospices in the whole country be in Los Angeles County? And we're going after these folks. We believe half of them are fraudulent.
And as an example of this fraud, authorities say a 65-year-old woman from Anaheim was arrested this morning after charging Medicare $9 million over a 5-year span for allegedly caring for terminally ill patients. Again, these authorities say that was not the case. Reporting in downtown Los Angeles, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
A late-night shakeup in Santa Cruz County. Up next, residents describe the moment of 4.6 quake hit. And a Burbank Target remains closed after an arson fire. Tonight, a suspect is in custody. Plus, newly released body cam footage shows Tiger Woods being handcuffed following his rollover crash.
your back. There you go. So at this time, I do believe your normal faculties are impaired, okay, and you're under the unknown substance, okay? So at this time, you're at the risk for DUI. Yes, sir.
New video tonight. This is the moment Tiger Woods was handcuffed following a rollover crash on Jupiter Island. That was last Friday. Martin County deputies say Woods had 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket. Yesterday, a judge approved a motion allowing Woods to seek treatment outside of the U.S. This is the second time Woods has taken a leave from golfing after a crash. The last time was in 2009 when his SUV drove into a fire hydrant outside his home in Windermere. Woods has pleaded not guilty. A federal judge tosses the majority of Blake Lively's sexual harassment claims against co-star Justin Baldoni. 10 of the 13 claims, including defamation and conspiracy, were dismissed today. However, the judge is allowing claims of retaliation and breach of contract to move forward. The high-profile trial is still on track to begin this May. Well, a popular Target in Burbank is still closed after a fire last Sunday. Tonight, we've learned a woman has been arrested on suspicion of arson. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez reports.
Do you know when you're going to reopen?
We're going to try to aim for Monday.
The Target at Burbank's Empire Center, where crews are still trying to repair damage from a Sunday night fire that seemed to erupt near the pillow section. The store was evacuated with no injuries to shoppers, employees, or firefighters. Arson was suspected and is now confirmed by Burbank police with the arrest of 27-year-old Stephanie Irene Mendoza. Officers were seen at the extended stay just up the street from the Target by witnesses who do not want to be identified.
3 guys, 3 cops, escorted one of the women out.
From the hotel.
From the hotel.
We've also learned 2 other people were detained at the hotel and arrested for unrelated charges. It seems they were captured on security video leaving the Target and arriving at the hotel at about the same time the fire started.
The people that set the fire were staying there, and they brought in a bunch of stuff from the Target in 2 carts. It doesn't surprise me. It's just I didn't expect it.
Again, this woman, the 27-year-old, is the only one charged, and only with arson. But police saying if anyone has any information to please give them a call. In Burbank, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
Live look outside from our LAX cam. It's busy down below, not so busy up above, meaning it's pleasant outside. Not a lot of activity in the skies. Let's check in with our meteorologist, Star Harvey. Hi there.
Hi. You know, that's absolutely right. We are going to make it through the rest of our Thursday evening here under quiet, calm conditions. And as we arrive at tomorrow and through this weekend, we're still tracking pretty docile weather conditions. And that's some good news, especially as we do head into a holiday weekend. Now, our system that did bring in our bit of wet weather and cooler conditions has passed, and we do have a high pressure system that will go ahead and take over, and that is what is going to allow for our temperatures to not just jump up for tomorrow but through the weekend. We're also tracking some pretty heavy Santa Ana winds. We're talking moderate to heavy at times, and this is going to be the case arriving as early as tomorrow and then streaming into our weekend as well. Those temperatures expected to jump into the 80s for tomorrow and stick around the 80s until we get through this weekend. And of course, we'll see a few 90s scattered across the area as well. And then as we arrive at next week, we're expecting that our temperatures will once again return back to around their normal. Our normal for today, 70 degrees. LA did a great job of getting really close to that. We hit 69 degrees. And as we take a look over into the Santa Monica area, we do have some clouds across that area. Temperatures in the lower 60s right now. Those winds a little bit calmer than what we did see across the downtown area. And as we do push into tomorrow, we'll be getting rid of this coolish air. This was the case through today. Our temperatures, in fact, across the LA area, we did show those 60s. We had a lot of 60s and 70s on the map today. That energy pushing off to the east of us, and instead we do have a ridge arriving, and this ridge is going to impact us through tomorrow, pushing into Saturday as well as Sunday. With this system, we're also going to see that onshore pattern, and so with that, that offshore pattern, and so with that, that is what is going to allow for our winds to kick up at times across the area 50 to 65 miles per hour for some of us. And again, as we move into the start of next week, we should see those winds weaken. And then we are also welcoming in another pattern that will cool our temperatures down. Here's a look into our wind event. You'll see that a big portion of the area not included here, but we do have a large portion of the region that is going to be covered in our highlighted area here. And these lighter colors letting us know that our winds could gust as high as 50 miles per hour. And then we do have the potential through tomorrow morning into the afternoon where our darker colors are here to see our winds gusting as high as 65 miles per hour. Again, those alerts are in place until tomorrow, but likely to see them stream into our weekend. Of course, we'll be here with those updates, and I'll be back with your 7-day forecast. For now, Marla, back to you.
Great, Star. Thanks so much. A 4.6 magnitude earthquake hit overnight in Santa Cruz County. Residents say they heard the house and windows shaking, a number of items falling right off the shelves. The quake struck at 1:40 this morning, and when the sun actually rose, business owners say they expected the area to look a little more roughed up.
I jumped out of bed. Me and my husband jumped out of bed, went to our kids' rooms, and they were obviously awake. Everybody was awake. Everybody was shaking. Everybody was scared.
It was a good wake-up call. Strongest one I felt probably over 30 years.
Boulder Creek, where the epicenter was, reported no major damage. Well, a giant leap forward coming up. The Artemis II crew breaks Earth's orbit, and that crew sets their sights now on the moon. So exciting. For the first time in more than 50 years, human beings have left Earth's orbit. NASA's Artemis II crew successfully fired their engines tonight, setting a course for the moon. The translunar ignition came 25 hours after liftoff, accelerating velocity and setting the course for the rest of the journey. This expedition will send the crew about 252,000 miles into space, breaking the record set in 1970 by the Apollo 13 mission.
As soon as you fire your engine to go to the moon, You can't just stop and turn around and come back. You got to coast all the way to the moon, sling around the moon using its gravity, and then come back. So you're committing to at least a week.
The spacecraft is expected to fly around the moon Monday. The historic 10-day journey will take them farther into space than any human in history. NASA is counting on this test flight to kickstart the Artemis program and lead to a moon landing in 2028. Let's take a live look now from NASA's feed. Wow. If you want to track the progress, NASA has this tracker on their website. Here it is. We first showed this to you last night. Bottom there, it tracks mission time elapsed, velocity, distance from Earth, and the distance to the moon. Fascinating, magnificent, all those adjectives. All right, still ahead. From instant noodles to a multi-million-dollar fraud, the luxury lifestyle that led one local woman to federal prison.
Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
New tonight, a rescue caught on camera. A fisherman catches and releases a great white shark. But what's the story behind this video? Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos in Hermosa Beach. Ed, definitely the video of the day.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you bet, Marlon. This is a crazy one. You know, the pier here, the pier really busy Wednesday morning, early in the morning. Fishermen out like crazy, you know, hanging over the railing because they're trying to catch the mackerel running. Schools of fish, I'm told, down below. And all of a sudden, one of the fishermen starts wheeling in a shark. A great white shark of all things. Watch.
Oh, it's a great white.
Oh, my God.
It's a great white.
You got a great white shark?
It's a great white shark. Oh, dude.
Yeah, the dude has a great white fishing off the Hermosa Beach pier and catching more than he ever imagined. Not just a juvenile shark, but a great white shark.
It was kind of intimidating looking at the fish, like all the teeth. Like I handled sharks before. I handled leopards, soup-fin, horn sharks, dogfish, but nothing as extreme as a white shark.
Or the apex predator, as it's called. Check out those fins cutting through the water. Looks like something right out of Jaws, huh? This as the pier's busy early Wednesday morning.
And there was, when we got there was a lot of these Asian fishermen. They were hauling in mackerel after mackerel, 15 on one line. Oh, it was crazy. And there was a big ball of fish.
A big ball of fish, and you know what's feeding on all of that.
There was 2 sharks actually. The first one was around 7 or 8 in the morning, and the second one was around 9. So it was like back to back. And I was only good for threshers, but unfortunately there was no warnings around the beach of white sharks.
Catching them is one thing, but then you've got a bigger problem.
How are we going to get it up?
So they have to run down to the shore and cut it free. But the great white, it's not too happy.
I understand me, it almost got me. Which then after that, it just swam off fine. Because after we got the hook off, we're trying to handle it, try to drag it back in the water. But it swam off straight clear and straight fine.
Trouble is, when you catch one of these, the great white, it's illegal. That's why they had no choice. They had to let the evidence swim away.
And the laws behind it and they're a protected species. It just snapped in my brain. I acted quickly. I released it as possibly as I could.
And now live, the applause as the shark swims away. You had no choice, though. Reeled it in. It's against the law. You had to set it free. Luckily, both of the sharks swam away. They seem to be okay. But another part of the story, Marley, is the shark sighting. The experts say, the water's been heated up because the weather's been so nice. So you have the juvenile sharks that come closer to the shore, like the great whites. And remember, just last week, I think it was last Thursday, as a matter of fact, down in Newport Beach. Remember that one, Marla? They had an 8-footer, a great white, circling around a surfer in the water. So, yeah, we are seeing a lot more shark activity. So the lifeguards, everybody's saying, be extra careful because we know they're in the water, especially over the last week or so. So keep your eyes open.
Yeah, I mean, did they post those signs, warning of sharks?
I haven't seen any signs, no, but then I haven't been down there. We just got here a little while ago.
Okay, all right. And obviously he is pretty experienced when it comes to fishing.
Oh, yeah. He was telling us about all the different types of fish. I never knew there were so many types of fish, but he knew them all. But he knew, it was interesting, he knew a great white when he saw him, even though he said this was about a 7-footer. But you can imagine, I said, well, I didn't do the interview. Frank, one of our fellows, photographers, did the interview, and he told Frank, he said, I didn't know what type of shark it was. Then I saw the teeth, and I realized it was a great white.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we were all excited for your report. I was expecting you to at least get like a holy mackerel in there or something.
Nah, that's a good next time around. Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Okay. All right, Ed. Thank you so much. All right, in all seriousness, let's go back to the breaking news from the top of the show. A reckless driving suspect still in the San Gabriel River after fleeing sheriff's officers in a pursuit. This is underneath Valley Boulevard in Temple City. Deputies and firefighters negotiating with the man to surrender. But he continues apparently to cling to a pillar, one of the pylons there. You see the boat now being used. It's one more time. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a raft. I called it a boat, officially a raft from the fire department. And yep, you see the man there on the bottom right of your screen clinging to that pylon. Firefighters have tossed that rope with a buoy to the suspect, and LA Fire, they've put that raft in the river to go get him. You see him there. Gotta be cold. It's only a matter of time until this thing comes to an end. But we've been over this for about 40 minutes or so. So it's gone on for more than I expected. We'll continue to watch this out of Temple City and update you accordingly. Disturbing news tonight. Typhus cases are climbing in Los Angeles County. Health officials say the illness spreads through infected fleas and can seriously impact your health. Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna tells us what to watch for.
Rats, opossums, and free-roaming cats. They get the blame for a rising number of typhus cases.
Whenever there is increased nesting spaces for these animals, whenever human behavior changes so that there's more contact with these animals, then the risk will increase.
So far in LA County, there have been 220 reported cases of flea-borne typhus, and it's only April. 220 was the total number of cases for 2025. What is flea-borne typhus? Typhus is a bacteria transmitted by fleas. The advice is to give flea medication to pets and take measures to keep the feral animals away.
Avoid contact with free-roaming animals, so to make sure that there's no food that we're leaving outside, make sure that the vegetation around our homes is trimmed, make sure there's no trash where rats can come and nest.
Dr. Halai wouldn't be specific about the hot zones for typhus.
It puts us on high alert.
But the Los Angeles Mission knows conditions like these can put the homeless at risk. Rowan Vansleeve relies on the public health department to alert him if there's typhus here. Even without a warning, the LA Mission takes steps to keep the disease away.
So we're not able to remove the pets. Rather, we take a different approach. We engage with veterinarians to come on site and provide pet care for the animals, making sure we can maintain hygiene and health.
How do you know if you contracted typhus? Unfortunately, the symptoms are flu-like.
Which is why prevention is so important, right? But yes, those are very non-specific. They can progress to severe disease. So it's very important that if you have those symptoms, if you have risk factors, go to your doctor.
And because of those vague symptoms, typhus fever is often misdiagnosed. That's why the advice is to tell your doctor about the possibility of typhus. Researchers also say when they go and talk to people who've had typhus, oftentimes they say they don't remember being bitten by fleas. In downtown Los Angeles, Susan Hirasuna, Fox 11 News.
Baldwin Park police crack a massive organized theft ring, recovering nearly 2,000 stolen catalytic converters in Norwalk. The stash is valued at over $500,000 and represents a major blow to the regional crime operation. Multiple arrests have been made, but detectives warn the investigation is ongoing as they search for more suspects. A Huntington Beach woman is headed to federal prison for stealing almost $3 million from a Garden Grove-based instant noodle company. Tay Miyagi Jones was sentenced to 30 months for embezzling the funds to pay off mortgages, jewelry, and designer bags. Prosecutors say she spent years doctoring records to hide the theft before finally being caught. A 13-year-old girl from Arizona went missing nearly 32 years ago is found alive. The Gila County Sheriff's Office says Christina Marie Plant was tracked down using advances in technology, modern investigative techniques, and detailed case review. She was last seen May 15th, 1994, when she left her home on foot to go to a stable where her horse was kept. At the time, authorities described her disappearance as endangered and under suspicious circumstances. Plant is now 44 years old. The sheriff's office says out of respect for her privacy, additional details will not be released. The Trump administration says it plans to look into whether tiny plastic pieces in drug compounds are showing up in Americans' drinking water. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Environmental Protection Agency head Lee Zeldin said the move is an important step to address growing worries about water contamination across the country. The Environmental Protection Agency is adding tiny plastics and drug compounds to its list of possible contaminants to study for drinking water rules. This is the first time these items have been put on the list.
We are launching STOMP, which stands for Systematic Targeting of Microplastics. It's a $144 million national program to measure, understand, and to remove microplastics from the human body.
The agency says it will release a draft of the updated list and will allow 60 days for the public to comment. The final version should be ready by the middle of November. Well, Los Angeles is getting ready for the world stage as Olympic tickets officially go on sale. A special pre-sale for local residents opened today, while the general public can grab seats starting next week. Organizers are pushing for affordability, with 1 million tickets priced at just $28 for the 2028 Summer Games. Meanwhile, ticket prices for the 2026 World Cup final are soaring as the last round of sales opens with a steep price hike. Fans faced technical glitches yesterday, only to find top-tier seats now costing almost $11,000. FIFA defends the surge as a reflection of North American demand, but critics are blasting the record-setting prices as excessive. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood will host 8 of the massive matches, including 2 USMNT clashes in June against Paraguay and Turkey. 6 final teams just secured their spots, bringing the total to 104 matches nationwide. As we mentioned, last-minute tickets are on sale now at FIFA.com/tickets. And remember, if you don't want to splurge, you can watch all the FIFA World Cup action right here on Fox 11. All right, check this out. A Sunset Strip icon is getting a major makeover. The former Mondrian Los Angeles has officially relaunched as the Valorian. The rebranded luxury hotel features the new White Rabbit Sky Lounge, a reimagined rooftop destination replacing the famous Sky Bar, offering fresh programming and panoramic views of the Hollywood Hills. Up next, a 4-year-old boy recovering after a scary coyote attack near a Carson elementary school. Plus, a survivor at Zoo Knoxville meets the adorable lion cub thriving after a miracle recovery.
As we head into this weekend, we are expecting that our temperatures will warm up. Now have the details on how your Easter Sunday is planning to look on the other side of this break.
Oh, but first, aloha from Waikiki. Here's a live look from our Earth Cam. This is the view from the Hilton Hawaiian Village Waikiki Beach Resort. It's 6:40 there, and it's a perfect 73 degrees. Aloha, and I'll see you soon. I'm going there for my big 50th birthday, everybody. Can't wait. All right, too much personal information. More to come right after the break. A dramatic rescue in Moreno Valley tonight. Deputies and firefighters were called to the area near Pigeon Pass Road late this afternoon after the man could not find his way out. A sheriff's rescue helicopter found him hoisted him up, lifted him to safety. He was flown to a nearby park and checked by paramedics. Authorities say he was not hurt, just unable, there he is, to get out on his own. Must feel good to put your feet on the ground. Glad you're okay. All right, new tonight, a $50,000 reward is out in Riverside County as Animal Services searches for 2 dogs that mauled a wild burro to death in Raichi Canyon. A black cane corso and a shepherd mix are still on the loose. If you see them, you can call 951-358-7387. Information right there on your screen if you can grab that in time. Well, a coyote attack leaves a 4-year-old boy injured in Carson near the Ambler Avenue Elementary School. The moment is caught on camera, and now the search is on for that coyote. Fox 11's Haley Winslow reports from Carson, where officials say this may be the same coyote from a prior attack.
Caught on camera, a coyote attacks a kid in Carson. 4-year-old Solomon is playing with a stick Tuesday morning. His mom a few feet away grabbing groceries when this coyote creeps up and bites the child's leg, knocks him down, then bites the boy again.
I just hear him screaming and I turn around and I scream as well because I see the coyote on top of him.
Their screams scare away the wild animal, and Serena Denohu runs her son inside.
I was so scared because I know how bad it could have been. My initial response was just, I need to get him away and I need to see if he's okay.
7 puncture wounds on the front and back of Solomon's leg and torso.
It bit me. It was trying to drag me.
He got nipped 3 times, and now he's going through rabies protocol. He's 4 years old, you know, and I just think it was a little much for a young child to experience.
For a wild animal to walk up into your yard and try to snatch your grandchild, it's like the most horrific thing in the world.
I'm just glad it wasn't a mountain lion, you know, or a bear.
California Fish and Wildlife tells me through DNA testing, this coyote attacked another child in February. They're also trying to see if it's linked to 2 other recent incidents. A 31-year-old woman bitten last week in Gardena, and another small child attacked Monday at Carson's Dignity Health Sports Park. Once caught, wildlife officials will euthanize the coyote that attacked little Solomon, but say because they're so territorial, they can't relocate the others.
It's a wild animal. If it wants to get in somewhere, it can climb a fence, it can do whatever. So they need to take it more seriously because the amount of families and kids in this area.
Does it hurt?
It tickled.
The rabies shot hurt more.
Though a brave boy,
I don't want to.
Super Solly says he's now a little scared to play outside. Little Solomon usually lives in a townhouse, so he loves coming to Grandma and Grandpa's because he gets to be a kid, do what he loves to do best, which is play in the yard with a stick. Now, of course, he's thinking twice about doing just that. Reporting in Carson, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Wow. Just a big growl for a little body, huh? Zoo Knoxville is celebrating the birth of this adorable African lion cub. The little guy was born in February to first-time parents Zara and Maggie. Oh, look at those blue eyes. Veterinarians had to step in with bottle feedings after the mother struggled to produce enough milk, but staff says he's now thriving and finding his roar. No word yet on when he will make his public debut. Funny, I use those very same bottles for my 1-year-old. Oh, the similarities. A Cape vulture chick has hatched at the Los Angeles Zoo, marking a historic first. The chick, born March 14th, is the first from the zoo's new Cape vulture habitat, which opened in February 2025. Zoo officials say this success highlights the comfort and care provided to the vulnerable species. The breeding milestone is a big step in conservation efforts for these endangered birds. All right, that leads us to meteorologist Star Harvey. We're talking about a warm-up and the Easter holiday weekend ahead of us.
Yeah, it came so fast as we do slide into this weekend. We are going to see some wonderful conditions, especially coming off of the trend that we did see this week with the rain earlier, and then also just that bunch of cooler conditions. We did have some cooler conditions today, but still closer to our averages, which means as we get through what's left left of our 9 o'clock hour. Here's how our temperatures are playing out. We're 56 in Pasadena, 61 down in Chino. If you're in Riverside, temperatures also at 61 degrees, and 64 down in Long Beach. Porter Ranch here at 59 degrees. As we move into tonight, we do have mostly clear skies for the LA area, surrounding region. We may have some clouds holding on. Take a look at these temperatures out in the mountains. We are going to be sub-freezing across the area. We'll have temperatures similar to that across the I-5 corridor, so headed up towards the Fraser Park area, the Grapevine region, but also the Palmdale, Lancaster, Antelope Valley. We'll see temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s, and our Palm Springs area, the mild spot on our map for this Thursday evening. Your temperatures dipping down into the 60s. Now, as we get through the rest of this evening, I showed you the skies. Let's go ahead and get to tomorrow morning. We do show mostly clear skies getting into that 6 o'clock hour. We'll begin to see some clouds filtering in as we move into our afternoon. This is around lunchtime where we do have that deck of clouds arriving. We are expecting to have partly cloudy conditions for some of the area. A lot more of us will see that sunshine as we do get through the remainder of what's left of this week. Either way, high pressure will swing in, and temperatures for our interior sections are expected to warm into the upper 70s to low 80s for the LA area. We're going about 10 degrees above where we were today, which means about 10 degrees above where we are typically at on average. If you're along the coast, you'll see some of those cooler conditions, while our interior sections are going for the 80s and maybe a few 90s tomorrow. We're expecting to see the coastline in the 70s. This is a look at Laguna Beach moving into that lunchtime afternoon hour, shooting for the lower 70s. Our 7-day forecast is going to show 80s across the map for tomorrow, but also into our weekend. Easter Sunday coming with a bunch of sunshine, temperatures in the low 80s. And then there's a look at our temperatures cooling down as we head into the start, but also the middle of next week. Back to you.
Great stars, thank you so much. New at 9, people lined up in LA's Westlake area to celebrate new menu items at McDonald's as they team up with Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters. Fans can enjoy Korean-inspired meals like ramen McShaker fries. Look at that line. And those fries, by the way, feature a soy, garlic, sesame, and spice seasoning. That does sound really, really good. There's also an array of special sauces, including Hunter sauce, which has sweet chilies, and Demon sauce, which is a hot and tangy mustard. Ooh, the line around the block there. Diplo's Run Club is coming back to Los Angeles. The unique event combines a 5K race with a live music festival headlined by Grammy-winning DJ Diplo. It's set for November 8th at the Los Angeles State Historic Park. Last year's event drew more than 10,000 participants, making it one of the largest new races in the U.S. Open to all fitness levels, it's a celebration of music, wellness, and community in the heart of downtown L.A. Well, a viral moment of Disney magic. See the heartwarming interaction between a character and a deaf boy. We told you about this a few weeks ago, but just a reminder, kids of all abilities can join some Easter fun at Newport Dunes this Saturday from 9 to noon. The annual Beyond Blindness Beeper Egg Hunt is offering a safe, sensory-friendly Easter egg hunt for children with visual impairments and other disabilities. And look at this.